Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Go Talk Show. Thank you so much for being here. And if you like what we say and all that stuff, please hit the subscribe button, give us a like, do a comment, whatever you got to do. So today we're having sort of a gambit of different things. We want to first talk about just funny. We want to first talk about I have no idea what's coming out of my mouth. So I want to exactly, like, surprise. So I want to first talk about the living field that the living field in general, and then Tracy dropped us the golden nugget last time with the box. Well, see, now it's coming to me what it was. Everything is changing so fast, so furious. So we're gonna start with there, and okay, I guess it's not about the living box. The living field that we're in is shifting and changing so quickly, so rapidly. They want you to understand that where you are in this moment right now, hearing this, and where you are right now, hearing this, completely different. So it's really, really fast and furious, and recognizing that this is, I don't like this wording. So let's see where they're going. This is the calm before the storm. Okay, so sit into this calmness, because for a lot of people, there is going to be this uprooting and this up leveling. And they're saying this is all a good thing. Let go of the wording of what I just did and judge the calm before the storm. They're saying that's a analogy that the human form has to get rid of. There are no storms unless you're creating a storm. Are you creating a storm? Would you create a storm for yourself? And if the answer is no, then that storm is a really awesome thing, because it's a cleansing, it's a purification of moving this into this new way of being. And Tracy and I were talking about how AI is shifting and changing. And I'm going to throw that AI over to you. No, see what you got, because I'm like, that's all I got, girl.
Can I go back to the storm thing?
Yes, please.
Because I didn't, as everyone probably knows, Renee and I talk before we start recording to get out all our stuff because we are throw it all out. And I didn't even tell you this off air, which is always fascinating to me when it comes up when we hit record. So I was telling Renee the story of I was out on the boat yesterday and it was forecast for clear skies, and this we're out on the boat, 20 minutes into a boat ride, and this big storm presents in front of us, and there's lightning everywhere, and there's thunder, and we were kind of hanging out under the bridge. And then before that even cleared to go forward, one formed behind us that was potentially even worse. Like if you looked at the radar, literally lightning bolts everywhere, forward, back. So we're kind of under the bridge because you don't, with the lightning, you don't want to be the highest things. If you're under a bridge, it's going to hit the bridge first. So anyway, I'm going through this whole thing of, you know, an analogy. You think where we're going ahead is, ooh, I don't know if I want to keep going. It's pretty gnarly up there. Look at all the storm, look at all the thunder, look at all the lightning. And then all of a sudden, it's even worse behind you. So it's like, it's this messaging of, well, do you really want to go backwards? And it's like, well, heck no, I'm not going back there. Like we're going forward. And I was sitting in it, and it's this whole kind of trust piece that keeps coming up in my life of and it's, there's waves and the temperature dropped. I'm not exaggerating, like 20 degrees, and then it's raining, and you're like, what do you do? And like, so it's this choice point of, well, I'm going to trust. And it was funny because anyway, so it cleared up in front of us. We went so quickly, blue skies, calm water, like almost eerily quickly. Like how did that dissipate? So this is how quick everything's moving, which is how I get analogies of, well, everything's really quick right now. So we show up and everyone's like, were you caught in that storm and all this stuff? And I was talking to one of our friends and I was like, yeah, it was pretty gnarly. I said, but I did say, well, I either was like, I could view this as an adventure, and more so to this audience of, wow, look at the analogy of everything. What do you think? What are you going to do? But I said to him, I was like, I could consider this an adventure or, fuck me. And he's like, sorry guys, but that's really what I said. Um, and he's like, I definitely would have gone with the holy shit route. Like what? So Again, it's such a great analogy, and I tend to bring them into my life in real examples. So it's not a theoretical thought. It's a you're in it. What are you going to do? What do you think? And thank goodness I always can get myself to the point of, oh my gosh, we're not going backward, or you can if you choose, but it looked gnarly ahead, but it got way gnarlier behind. And like that calm when we were under the bridge, kind of in between the two storms, that was the silence of what's going on. Whew, what are you going to do? And it's so funny because a couple people in boats and they were just like, what do we do? And you're kind of like, trust, like choose wisely and have faith. And the good story was that it did all, and we had a great time at the party. But God, what a great analogy for where we're at, what's behind, what's ahead. It's different for every single person. It's going to change so quickly, exponentially faster and more cool and a little more challenging per se, but not really because, that gets you, which could segue us right into the conversation of AI because that's such a huge component of this quick change. But I'll let you go before we continue.
Yeah, because what they're saying is in that thing, everybody's got to start to not only look forward, but be in the now. Stop looking backwards. Stop talking about what you did, what you were doing, what you went through, all that stuff. Because they're saying when you're sitting in exactly, I think you said like that silence, that calm, like right when you're under the bridge, right? So if everybody's sitting in that beautiful state of calm, like, okay, look at, I'm not my past, I'm not my future, I'm my right now. And they're saying, so in this right now, who are you and what are you choosing? And it goes back into really our first thing of choose wisely, choose wisely. Tracy always says. So it's that thing of like, what are you choosing to be? Because they're saying you're not. If you really look at all the energy and everything that's changed, the way that you grew up, the way everything has shifted and changed, every single thing, the things you did yesterday to the things you're doing today. So if you're really looking and feeling, they said, feel it, you'll feel the difference in it. Saying because you're not who you were, you're this person right now who you're choosing to be at this particular moment of time, and you're moving forward. And as you're moving forward, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to feel like you're in this little bit of a storm, but if you have that trust and the faith and you stand strong in who you are and who you feel like, this is what I feel I want to do it. It's going to be the right thing. And then you're going to come out in this beautiful sunshine, in this beautiful light. And they're saying every single thing, the way things have worked, are not working the same anymore. We're going back into that beautiful field of a true knowing, of a true conversation within, because eventually we're all going to be there for each other. They're saying the way things are changing with AI and all those other aspects are the aspect of people are going to come back together and remember and know what it's like to be a human being with a feeling. And they're saying that they're using the human being aspect because that's what we would understand. But they're saying it's really about becoming the true being of life that you are in a neutral field. And they keep showing me, that you in the boat, like underneath the bridge, because it's like right there, it's so quiet. There's all the noise has stopped. They're saying when you stop and you just feel, who am I in this moment? What am I choosing in this moment? That's going to move you forward. And the same, and AI is right behind you, like it's pushing you because that's going to set so many people free to do what they really want to do and what they're choosing to do. But it's going to allow you to be there for that human touch, the human feel, the humanness of love. And they're saying, again, it's not really a human feel. They're using that word because you're a being of light that does not have, I feel like they just keep reiterating the same damn thing. It does not have the human thoughts, the worries, the concerns. It doesn't have all of that in there. It's just I'm going to show you compassion and love because I don't care what you stand for, what your human form stands for. We are a being of light together, and you are me and I am you, and we are everyone and everything. That's the piece that's coming back together. Put it off to you, Trace.
Okay, so this is kind of cool because we didn't talk about this either. I didn't,
Mhm.
but because I was full of stories this morning. But I was just shown the example of this neutrality, feel it. Sorry, my daughter Alex, but I'm going to use the story of her because last night it's graduation. She down here, all her buddies are graduating from high school. So I had an awesome humdinger of a day of all these cool things yesterday, but she was out at a graduation party. And at one point, I woke up and I like to know when she's home because I'm a mom and I'm still, she's only 18. And I remember waking up and being like, oh, I think I went out and I checked and her door was still open. So she wasn't home. And I maybe dozed off and I woke back up. I have no idea what time it was. And I was like, oh, peace of mind. I didn't hear the door. Like we have an alarm when she comes in. I usually hear the door. I'm like, either I was sleeping so soundly, I didn't hear it. I'm like, oh, I should go get my phone because I don't sleep by my bed anymore. I was like, I'll, track her, which I rarely do. And instead, it was like, well, how does it feel? Are you worried? I'm like, no. Does it feel good? Yeah. Okay, so if she's at a friend's house sleeping, or if she's still out, or if she's in her own bed, does it feel good? I'm like, yeah, it does. Then why are you going to go get your phone and see A, if she's home, where she is? Like, and honestly, Renee and everyone out there, I don't even know if I got to finish my thought. Like I was asleep again, which as a mom never happens. Like, so that's another story, real time of just everything what you said. How does it feel? Feels great. I have no worry. Okay, well, can you trust no matter where she is? It's all good. And then as soon as I wanted to be like, no, I should probably get my phone and track where she was, it was like, nope, lights out, girl. I woke up this morning and I was like, did I even finish that thought? Nope. We knocked your butt out. And sure enough, she's home. She probably had a great time. I don't know. Do I need to know when she got home and who she was? Apparently not. You know what I mean? So these are the real time things of letting it go, feel. And I'm going to reiterate first, how does it feel? Do you feel worried? No, not at all. And I'm a mom. That's my number one. Like I always say, my kids are my kryptonite. If they're well, pretty much everything is good. So another story of how quickly the stuff, like it's shocking me how quickly go to that feel piece first. And then it's almost like if you tap into that trust, that field, it won't even let you access the worry. Like I couldn't even get to the yeah, if I just look at my phone and see where she is, then I'll have peace of mind. I wasn't even allowed to get there. It was like, nope, that feels good. Boom, you're back asleep.
I love that. You know what? That goes back to, and I don't know what one it was, but you talked about that in one of these episodes where you said that we're going to be going into that place and you're not even going to be able to go into the worry, into the concern. Well, people, that's the energy we're now embracing. Start to embrace that energy in the field. The more you're feeling, the more you're in that field. That field doesn't just exist for one person. That field spreads out into the world. So that is a piece and a part of you because like I've always said, I've always seen all these cells connected, like one big, huge, giant chain of cells connecting everyone and everything. Okay, so everyone and everything is a piece and a part of us. So somebody else is in that field, Tracy's in that field. Okay, so we have the ability to access that field. That's right there. That's just part of us. So the minute you start to do that, the more and more and more you feel, okay, what feels right? Does this feel right? It steps us out of the human element, out of the human mind of, wait, what used to happen? Because what does the mind do? The mind goes into all the memory banks of like, wait, how do I respond to this? I respond to this because this and this happened back there. That's why I think they were saying in the beginning, that's not where we are. That's not who we are. That's all gone. That's over. And that's that big storm that now you're sitting in the quietness. That's the field we're in now. This quiet stillness where we're quieting every aspect of the world as we know it. Sit and feel, what is it you want? Or does this feel good? If it feels good, you're in that field. Now expand on that field. Continue every time you're going forward. Do something and feel it, which then brings me back into that whole building block that you talked about last time and you've got the building block. If you are starting to go into that worry, remember you've changed, you're shifted. That thing that's coming forward, whether it is, I don't know, any fear, anywhere, to take your pick, that field is coming forward to say, okay, what do you want to do with it? Here we are in the stillness. How does this feel? If you really feel it, I will bet my life that you will feel a calmness to it, or a trust, or a truth, or whatever it is, whatever name you want to use for it, because you now have the ability to get rid of it. What are you choosing to be? Go into, like, Tracy used the analogy of, she hit it with the tuning fork. I usually will say, like, okay, now that she gave us that was gold that she gave. Like, I've been using that for every little worry, every little concern that I am aware of. I say that I'm aware of, right? That I'm aware of, and I use it. I am shocked at what is happening. I'm shocked at what I see. I'm shocked at what I just feel if I'm not looking and seeing anything. How my life has changed from last Tuesday, or from last Monday to this Monday. It is crazy. If you're not using the analogy of the building blocks for all of the worries, all the concerns, or what you think you're not into, hit that with the sound healing, hit that with the Jennifer, whatever it is. Remember, it's only an analogy. If you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch it, because it is phenomenal. That was a piece of gold she gave us. So, do that, watch and see how you feel, and exactly what Tracy said. I don't remember what it was that I was doing, but I remember doing something, and I'm sure we've talked about it, that's why it's gone. We're doing something and saying, oh, let me do this now. I think I was working with the building block, and they had this, awesome experience. And I was like, oh, it felt so awesome. And I was like, oh my God, what can I do now? Let's go. Let's go to the next one. I want to feel that. And they said, you'll never feel it that strong again, because you've now changed. So always know that when you're feeling things and now you're like, oh, I don't feel that anymore, I don't feel it like I did the first time. You can't. You've changed, you've shifted your entire field, your entire existence, the entire experience of who and what you are. So it will never be the same. And then when I said, okay, let's go into something else, let's do this again. And after they said that, then I was like, okay, now what can I do? Next thing I know, I was waking up. Now I was wide awake at that point, right? Next thing I know, I'm waking up the next morning. Oh, it was exactly that. They're like, got nothing else to do, girl. Go to sleep. Good night's sleep. We'll get you next time. And Tracy, we talked about this, off screen, the tiredness, the exhaustion that seems to, I don't even know if it's really exhaustion. I just know that, oh, I could have slept longer. And a lot of people are saying that, oh, I could have slept longer. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. Are we really exhausted? Or we just, because I think the same thing with you, Tracy. I think your daughter just said, oh, I could have slept longer. It wasn't, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. No, the old thing is, oh, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I could have slept. No, if you could have slept longer and you can, do it. Or go take a nap. Do whatever you have to do, because there is some sort of big energetic shift happening, which of course makes sense if they're telling us we're in that whole stillness, right? We're in the quiet space. In this quiet space that we're in, we have to let go of all that stuff. We're not going to let go of it consciously, because as they're coming forward, we're going to buy into it. We're going to hook right into it. Oh my God, that was a fear. That was worry. That was an illness. That was a this. That was a that. So in that stillness, in that quietness, they're able to shift the field. And they, by the way, which is really fascinating, they're telling me right now, they is not the healers. They are all versions of us.
Yes.
All versions of are now working on, let's clear all this stuff out. We don't need this anymore. It's not where we're going. So we're in this stillness, have the trust and the faith of what you're feeling. That's what you're bringing forward. Go. Got something?
Well, that's a huge to have that awareness that who the they is.
Yeah.
And we didn't even talk about that, but that
Yeah.
came for me this week of pretty much, and I'm not gonna, I'd like to know the example of why I was thinking of it, but I can't think of it right now. I kind of was feeling like, do you see the difference? How there's so many pieces and part of you that are so active now, like totally, online, participatory, and moving and shaking things. And it's like you have all of this like cheerleaders and support system around you, which would be the guides, the healers, but you are such a it's all you, like you were doing so many of these things. And I think that's the money right now. Money, like we all love topic of money, the gold,
Yeah.
I think that's, and honestly, I'm just really putting awareness on it right now as we're speaking.
Mhm.
It's huge right now. And you actually, you did mention it last episode. I think you referred to higher self. And I was like, again, that word has been very overused,
Yeah.
so it can lose some of its potency. But the shift of, no, it's really us right now. We are really architecting this thing. And yeah, we have all these like points of reference that we can get intelligence and intel from, but really it's really go time for us and all the versions of us. I love that.
Oh yeah, me too. And I love that you even said that higher self, because the truth is, who is the higher self? It's you. It's
Yeah.
you. It's the version of us that we think, well, we don't know, but my higher self knows. But guess what? They're all merging together. So if you say higher self, because even when you said the Tracy, I'm like, oh my God, they feel so empty. I didn't even realize. It feels so empty because we're merging together as one. That's who we are. That's who we've always, because, oh, we can't have the power. We don't know. Well, but my higher self does. No,
And
that's
how
really,
many, this was another, and I do too. Higher self, or I look up and I'm like, what?
yeah,
And said, it's like, no, 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 right here. Like, why are you always up? Like, your higher self is right here. What are you doing? Like, no, here, right
yes.
here.
Yeah. Well, and
Which,
that goes back to, remember when we were saying even like the testing and doing stuff and you hold it here and it's coming out, you push it backwards or you're going to it. You're right. Like everything's in the heart. Like, and how many times have you heard, or there's that, what is it, that Heart Math Institute, whatever it is, like, right, all these things, it's in the heart. The heart, and they're saying the heart and the breath are so big. If you're going into that heart and you're really truthfully breathing, having that calm, peaceful breathe, not if you're recognizing you're breathing fast, you're breathing, whatever, slow it down, attempt to slow it down. And they're saying for some of us, what we can do is, instead of, when we're breathing and you're going like, okay, in, out, they're saying flip it, out, in. They're saying that they'll start to shift the human element, mind and brain. They're saying just to be aware of your breath, because they're saying people are aware of the breath, but they're like, okay, yep, I'm going in, I'm going out, and then they're following that fast breath. When you flip it over and you're like, okay, wait a minute, I'm going out, and I'm going in, like you're trying to keep track of it. And I'm sure some brains can do that very easily, but they're saying that'll start to bring you into really paying attention to your breath, and then you'll start to really feel what the heart is bringing forth, because they're saying it's such a peaceful calm, and there's such a huge amount of trust in there for you. The trust for you, not the trust that, okay, I trust that God will do it, or the angels will do it, that this will do it, that they know what's right for me. They don't know. They are all here to say, we're going to give you whatever you want. And there's no judgment. That's the wonderful thing. So if you're, well, I'm going to use this example. I know this is wonderful. So if you're sitting there saying, oh my God, I don't have enough money, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, they're saying, oh my God, how wonderful. Let's give you more of that. Because there is no judgment. They don't hear it the way we hear it, the way we're experiencing it. So they're cheering you on. Oh my God, that I'm so jealous of that person. I hope they lose everything. Well, you can't create for somebody else, but most certainly they're all hearing like, oh, how wonderful. You want them to have nothing, or you want them to lose their whatever car, or whatever. Oh, how wonderful. You must want to lose everything then. You don't want to, we're going to give you more of that. Like they're so excited to help us with that stuff. So be very aware, stay in this peaceful, quiet, calm to see what it is you really want. Feel what, who gives a crap about anybody else and what they're doing. You stay focused in on you, what you want. Not only will your life fall into place, you will start to attract people that are there to love and support you. And all of those other people that you're jealous of for whatever reason, they'll be gone, because the truth is not about them. It's about you. You change your perception. You change everything in you. There's nothing to be jealous of. You have everything that you want. You're following forward in what you feel is right for you. That's the only thing that matters in life at all, period. Mic drop.
Mic drop.
All I got. But you got anything? Do we have anything to say about AI?
Well, I was thinking we brought up AI. We got to tie it in. So I'm going to tie it in.
Okay.
And we can talk about this in so many different ways, but there is a beautiful component to AI. And hopefully, this is going to track because it was all coming in while you were talking. Let AI replace all of that information, the words, the information. It can do it for us, which frees up us to be creative and open up. And I'll give a couple examples that was coming in. So if you Googled AI, how do I use my breath to whatever, calm myself down, get in touch with, you'd say, take the in breath for 4 beats and the out breath, whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
So sure, let AI come up with that information where we could be over here. We don't have to worry about responding. And I was like, oh my gosh, how cool. Like just breathing in, think green, blue, like don't in out or
Yeah.
sit, eight, and don't even make it make sense. Like pick a word, butterfly, lizard. You know what I mean? Like really break the box of, well, how do we say it? Well, how do we do it? Let's let AI take over all that so we can start to play. So we can break away from all the, well, how do you do it? Well, because AI is fabulous at that. And Renee and I were talking, if you ask ChatGPT or Grok, or even a little bit of the different positioning of how you word a question, you're going to get a different answer, which goes back to there is no right answer. That is a potential answer in this moment. Now change one variance, and now we have a new potential right answer. So to unlock from that, our world of information and words and data, which, a lot of people are like, well, AI is going to replace humans. A, that's not possible. B, what if AI is taking over that limited human perspective? So now we don't have to be playing out the limited human where we can be the super cool, elevated superhuman. Yes, please. Which goes back to kind of what you just mic dropped with. But AI is such an amazing tool. If we see it that way, we allow it to be great. AI, you do all this repetitive, regurgitative garbage that is 80% of our world, and we don't have to have that be consuming all our time, energy, and effort and attention. And now we can start play and be the superhuman.
Yeah. Be your true creative self. Well, and they said, I love that, by the way. As you said that about the breath, I was like, I was breathing, I was saying just random words. I love butter, by the way. So it was like butter, salmon. I do not eat fish at all. I don't like fish. I don't like, I'm allergic to shellfish. I stay away from all that stuff. So it's interesting that the word salmon was coming in, right?
Contrast, polarity, convergence, neutrality, right?
Right. I love that. Like, it was so awesome. And what they're saying is exactly what you just did. Like I said, that's what's happening. So don't you try and figure out a word. I wasn't trying to figure out a word. I was just like, okay, let's let everything come in. So they're clearly going to be bringing in things that are contrasting, but then come together for the neutrality aspect. That is freaking awesome. Like, I love it. I love that you just did that. Cause I'm like, oh my God, yes, yes. It makes so much sense. And with the AI, he said, stop thinking. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's going to take my job. There's going to be no jobs. No, no, no. You're going to be doing what you love. You're going to be doing what you love. All the creative stuff, the stuff that you really truthfully wanted to do instead of sitting behind a desk or doing whatever it is, that's going to come forward. That's going to come out. And people are like, oh my God, well, then I'm not going to have the money. Of course you will. Why would you create not having the money? And the truth of the matter is, it's probably not currency anyway. It's probably, we're going back into that, and not probably, we are going back into a space of this beautiful ability to just love and be and share the energy with the earth. All of the elements that everybody's aware of that have been coming forward, right? They've been coming forward into everything. It's crazy cool. Well, as all of that's coming back in, we're spinning into a new field, into a new existence that is, okay, I'm gonna come hold your hand. I'm going to, let's exchange this. Let's do that. It doesn't, like, stop thinking of money as currency, they're saying, because that is a huge holdback, and that is holding you into fear. When you know that, what, of course all my bills will be paid. Of course they are. Like, why wouldn't they be? Right? Really start to think and realize. And if you've got something that's telling you another, well, go into that building block of it that Tracy shared last time. Hit that with the sound healing, with the tuning fork, whatever it is you're hitting it with. Hit it with money, hit it with abundance, because there's so much more in there. Hit it with what you need to hit it with. and you'll feel that difference in your body. You may not feel it right away. The more you're doing it, the more you're going to feel it, because this is just awesome stuff that we're moving into. That's all I got today. What do you got?
I think
Anything?
that's good. No, I mean, so much. I could talk all day. As soon as you say something, I see 100 other things. I'm like, oh, 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 oh. But I think that's good. Well, I just want to wrap it up. And I've said this, all the why questions. Like, and I say to Renee every day, what do I want to spend my time, energy, and money on? And I'm really fine tuning it. And it's amazing how the stuff that I don't want to spend my time, energy, money on bills. So as they don't become my attention piece and where my passion is going, they float away somehow. Either they're just become irrelevant or they disappear. Oh, that's paid off. Oh, cool. We don't even have that bill anymore. You know what I mean? All these cool things start to happen. And what I say to people is, why do you want money? Well, because I have to pay and really most of the stuff that we need money for is kind of garbage, and meaning like, well, your mortgage payment and your insurance and your taxes and a car and gas and electricity. Those aren't things that we're passionate about. And I'm going to intend this and put my energy toward it every day, that scale, this is all, we spend our money on all this stuff. Does it bring you joy? Well, no, I have like 10% of my income left. And I claim it. I love wellness. I love it. That's what I spend all my money on, whether it's facials and massage or yummy products that I put on my body, or that feeds me at such a core level. That's what I spend my money on. My husband, he loves fishing. And it feeds him, and they're both great. But what if that's what we were feeding all the time? Like, oh my gosh, every day there's just someone who's wanting to try this. They're not charging me for it. Hey, I just developed a new facial. Will you come in and test drive it for me? Do you see how the world starts to change, and then all the stuff that is feeding us is available, and it has nothing to do with this is my price, I need money. It really, and watch it like all of a sudden, and I'll say it every day, and guess what? Because I say it every day, I get more of it. Oh my gosh, my life is so charmed. Stuff just drops in. I don't even need to ask for it. Like it just unfolds in front of me. And I know, don't want to spit my face, please, because I do have, there's challenges along the way, but the more and Renee, you talk to me, you see it. Like it's just this, it's a choice. It's where do I want to put my energy and my intention? And then, like you just said, all of the powers around us, the angels, the guides are like, oh my God, look how happy she is. Let's do it again. Let's give her even more. Because I'm like, oh my God, this is so fun. And then look how excited she was. Let's give her more. So, and then even a storm in the middle of it could be potentially perceived as gnarly. And instead, I get to sit with Renee the next day and be like, oh my God, this is so fascinating. Look at all this stuff. Look at the perspective. I look at. So anyway, I know. Don't let me talk again because I'll just keep going.
Well, I love that, because I love the whole point where you're like, okay, those like the mortgage, the car, those are all our passions. Like we're passionate about that. Like you're right. So it's like, why are we seeing? Oh my God, I have to pay the electricity. I got to pay my mortgage. Why are we seeing that as a heaviness? Like I love that shift that you just made there, because it's like, of course I would have the money for my mortgage. Like what? Why wouldn't I? I love my house. I love my car. I love it. Right. That passion is really what's grow, because there's so much appreciation and love in there. Of course, you're going to continue to get more and more and more of it. Like you said, like that was another piece of gold. So thank you, Tracy. And it really opens you up for so many things. And you're just going to be doing all the things you love. And of course, money is going to be there, or whatever. Life, happiness, joy of life is going to be there. You're going to live it to the fullest, because that's what this is all about, and having fun. And how many of you are having fun right now? How many of you are stuck in the thing? Start to just shift things around. Anytime you hit a stumbling block or whatever, remember, what did you say, Tracy? The past, where are you spending your
Time, energy, and money,
time,
because
energy,
it's
money?
such a big, yeah.
Yeah, does it bring you joy? Doesn't bring you joy? Okay, let's do something about it. Like start to shift. But just that whole little consciousness of asking yourself and staying in that joy and just saying things. Oh my God, of course, everything just drops to me. Like, oh my God, I love that. And I love the excitement because, and I'm sure you all felt it. Feel that energy, feel the field you're in right now. This is an exciting field. Let it continue to expand. And never think you're not open to it or you don't know or you can't feel whatever. Because the minute you say that, you gotta close it down. Everybody's open, everybody's feeling it, everybody's in it. Just allow it to expand. I expand to this, I expand, and continue to feel, and choose wisely. And you'll be amazed what happens.
So exciting.
I know. Anything else, Trace? They're just goodbyes.
Just goodbyes.
Oh, you said just goodbyes. All right, everybody, have an awesome time creating your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.